It's Flashcard Fridays at Math, Science, History, and today we're going to talk about something that is a bit enlightening: light bulbs. After Tuesday's Museum After Dark episode, which had us wandering through a quiet, humming museum full of electricity, coils, waterfalls, and rivalry, I thought I would brighten a metaphorical room. Because while most of us don't think about electricity beyond the switch on the wall, the truth is that every room we walk into is quietly shaped by the kind of light we choose. So today, I want to talk about something deceptively simple but surprisingly powerful: your light bulbs. But first, a quick word from my advertisers. Most people never give them a second thought. You screw one in, it glows, and that's the end of the story. But light bulbs are actually tiny physics lessons, each one designed to create light in a completely different way. Those differences affect your energy bill, the heat in your room, your eye comfort, and even the mood you feel in your own home. And if we're taking inspiration from Tesla's imagination and curiosity, this is the perfect place to start uncovering the science in our everyday lives. So let's start with the bulbs themselves. Incandescent bulbs, the classic Edison-style bulbs many of us grew up with, work by heating a thin tungsten filament until it glows. It's almost like a miniature fire inside of a glass shell. They produce a beautiful, warm light, which is why people love them. But almost all the energy they consume turns into heat, not light. And if you've ever brushed your hand against a lamp and felt the sting of heat, that's the incandescent filament glowing away. It's charming, nostalgic, but incredibly inefficient. Now, halogen bulbs are basically the incandescent bulb's overachieving cousin. They use the same filament idea, but in a pressurized capsule filled with halogen gases like bromine and iodine. The halogen bulbs burn hotter and brighter. They give off a cleaner color, but they also become extremely hot. If you have a small room or a lamp that sits close to your chair or couch, a halogen bulb can make the whole place feel warm in minutes. They shine beautifully, but they're not always practical. Compact fluorescents, those spiral-shaped bulbs that appeared during the energy efficiency boom, use electricity to excite gas inside the tube. When that gas becomes energized, it emits ultraviolet light, which then activates a phosphor coating on the inside of the bulb, producing visible light. They use far less energy than incandescent bulbs, but they take their time warming you up. You flip the switch, and it feels like the bulb is hesitating, trying to decide whether it's ready to wake up. Some people barely notice, and others find it a bit distracting, especially if they are sensitive to flicker. Then we have LEDs, light-emitting diode bulbs, the modern favorite. These bulbs don't rely on heat or gas or filaments at all. Instead, they use a semiconductor, a tiny electronic component that emits light when current passes through it. LEDs stay cool, they turn on instantly, and they use a fraction of the energy of older bulbs. They also last years longer, and you can find them in any color tone you want, from golden candlelight to bright daylight white. So, if you're looking for something efficient, safe, and customizable, LEDs deliver the most benefits for the least cost over time. So that brings us to color temperature, something many people kind of overlook, some intentionally overlook, like me, I'm indifferent. But it shapes the feeling of your home more than anything else. Color temperature is measured in Kelvin, and it affects how warm, cool, or natural a light appears. The bulb in the 2700 Kelvin range produces that cozy amber glow we associate with classic incandescent lamps. It's the light of lazy evenings, soft blankets, and warm tea. A bulb around 3000 Kelvin feels a little bit brighter and clearer, often used in kitchens or bathrooms where you want visibility but don't want to lose warmth. And once you reach the 4000 Kelvin, the light shifts to a crisp, more natural tone. It's the color of offices, craft rooms, or garages, spaces where you want clarity and alertness. And above that, around 5000 to 6500 Kelvin, you get the sharp, bright, white light that mimics daylight. This light improves concentration and visibility, but it can feel intense if you are trying to relax. What is beautiful about modern LEDs is that they are designed to give you a choice. You can match the light in your home to the activity you are doing or the feeling that you want. Warm light for resting, neutral light for working, cool daylight tones for tasks that need precision. And if you buy a tunable or a smart LED, you can switch between these settings with a tap on your phone. That's pretty cool. There's one more thing that really ties neatly into Tesla's legacy: efficiency. The type of bulb you choose affects your energy in a big way. Incandescent bulbs consume far more energy than they produce in light. Halogens do a little better, but still waste plenty of heat. Compact fluorescents reduce energy, but contain a tiny amount of mercury, which means they must be disposed of carefully. And LEDs win almost every category. They use the least energy, last the longest, run the coolest, and give you the most control over your lighting environment. And here is something to consider. Before you even think about color temperature or energy efficiency, it helps to know that not every light bulb fits every socket. Most table lamps use the familiar E26 screw base, but many ceiling fans use the smaller E12 candelabra base. And track or recessed lighting often relies on twist and lock styles like the GU10. These are important things to know before you run out and buy a light bulb. When someone accidentally forces the wrong bulb into the wrong socket, it can lead to loose connections, flickering lights, damaged fixtures, or even overheating. LEDs have made lighting so much safer, but the rule still applies. A bulb must physically and electrically match the socket it is going into. Checking those details takes just a moment, and it keeps your home safer, brighter, and far less frustrating. So here are your takeaways for today. First, knowing how your bulbs work help you choose the right kind for your space and your comfort. Second, color temperature shapes your mood, your focus, and even your sleep patterns, so choosing the right tone for each room can make a measurable difference. And switching even a few bulbs in your home to LEDs can reduce heat, cut energy costs, and create a better lighting experience overall. And when it comes to checking for the right bulb, it's always worth confirming that the base of the bulb matches the base of the socket, because even a slight size difference can prevent a proper connection. It's also important to check the fixture's wattage rating. Since older lamps were designed for lower wattage incandescent bulbs, and using anything hotter than what the fixture allows can create unnecessary heat and safety risks. And finally, confirming the base of the bulb can make your life easier to notice whether your fixture requires a special type of bulb, such as one that is dimmable, enclosed fixture rated, or designed for outdoor use, because choosing the correct type ensures your lighting works the way it should without flicker, overheating, or premature burnout. And just like Tesla, we may not always think about the invisible currents running through our homes, but they guide our lives every day. And sometimes understanding the simplest piece of technology, like the little glowing glass in your lamp, is the first step toward appreciating the incredible science that surrounds us. Thank you for listening to Flashcards Fridays at Math Science History. And until next time, carpe diem.